Fight on family, press is paradise here. And yeah, remember we talked about worst case scenarios. We might have some stuff unfolding here today, right? So last night, Tom Loy's from 24/7, or Tom Loy from 24/7 comes on and gives Julian Lewis a crystal ball to University of Colorado. I've spoken and given my take on why this is a bad decision for Julian Lewis. But, I want people to go out and live their lives and make the decisions that they want to make, right? So I have no problem with Julian Lewis making a decision that him and his family want to make for him to play college football. But I have heard some things about this guy in particularly. He was also somebody that had him crystal ball to Georgia at one point. So who knows if this guy really knows what's going to happen with Julian Lewis. But a couple of hours ago on this fine Monday morning, across Twitter sphere, On3 has now predicted Cartier Smith to commit to the Colorado Buffaloes as well. So we knew this was a possibility, right? I mean, both these guys went out to Colorado, I believe, for the Cincinnati game a couple weeks ago. Colorado's got high, you know what I'm saying? People love to argue with me and say, it's all about money and whatnot. But the easiest thing you could do to get yourself great players, great high school players, is win on the field at the college football level, execute at a high level, win games. And, it may take some extras to get you over the hump to get kids, but at least you'll be in the ballpark when it really comes down to it. And you won't be, you can still lose commitments, in season as well. But, at least usually you can hold on to kids. But who knows if this is going to go down? I don't know if this is truly going to go down. We have the predictions in now in the last 24 hours of both Juju and Cartier Smith coming from different recruiting networks and recruiting services. So we'll see what happens. But what I was thinking about, right, I'll be honest. I would really love to have Cartier Smith. That hurts me a lot. Juju hurts as well, but I really liked seeing Cartier Smith come in there. He's a big offensive tackle with great feet, super athletic for his size. So that's going to hurt if we don't get him. But I went on this 24/7 sports recruiting site, right? Looked at USC right here. Currently sitting at number 10 in the 2025 rankings, right? And you see at the top of the list, you see Jerome Miles at wide receiver out of Utah. You see Hayden Lowe, the big defensive lineman out of Oaks Christian in California. I don't see any of these defensive commits decommitting because of a possible loss of Julian Lewis, right? Does that make sense to you guys? Like, in the comments, do you think any of these defensive commits will decommit because of Julian Lewis not being attached to the class anymore? I personally don't believe it. I don't see it happening, you know what I'm saying? And little food for thought, I mean, I know a lot of people have follow college football, or in particularly USC like myself. We've seen players come and go. A lot of these highly ranked kids out of high school don't even get opportunities at the next level. And a lot of things happen. I wish the best for everybody, but a lot of things happen. So I'm not getting too fired up and invested over what's going on. We saw it happen last spring with the kids from Georgia, right? And funny enough, we got a kid from Georgia, and I think Cartier Smith's from Alabama. So we're still dealing with that. But nonetheless, I think we're going to be fine. I think, Ryder Lyons, there's also, talks of Hussein Longstreet. I haven't even spoken about that. Possibly taking this slide if Juju is not completely invested in the program and is going to flip to Colorado. But regardless, there's a lot of positive things happening. Lincoln Riley was up at Modern Day. I think that's the first time I've seen him in those offices in 3 years, maybe. I have seen people on campus. I have seen a couple guys on the recruiting staff on campus, but I think that's the first time I've seen Lincoln Riley in those Modern Day offices. So that's good to see. But as I scroll down the list here, right, I think the only thing we might have to worry about is a couple of these wide receivers, right? I'm not going to particularly say which wide receivers I'm worried about. But there's a lot of motion right now. There's a lot of motion in this class, right? Because people are gonna feel away because you're not winning games, right? You're not winning games. So if you're winning games, you could kind of shield a lot of the chaos. But if you're not losing games, and then like I said, what was at stake for this season? You start losing games and you start losing recruits. That's truly and truly just a recipe for disaster, man. So I don't think, truly and honestly, I don't think we're going to lose much recruits. I say at the most, if they do end up flipping, we might lose 2 guys at the wide receiver position. Maybe a defensive back, but hopefully that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me know in the comments, how you feel. How do you think the recruiting class will shake out if these predictions are on point? And hopefully we don't have to find that out, right? Hopefully we don't worry about that. But one thing I do want to do as well today, obviously Jayden Maiava transferred from UNLV, was an all-conference player last year at UNLV. He's going to be starting this Saturday against Nebraska. So I kind of wanted to watch. I haven't sat down and watched a whole film on him. So I want to actually sit down and watch this film. Quarterback, a little bit more durable. Doesn't scare me a lot for them to take too much contact. Nice throw. Okay. I like it. One thing is kind of, and people have talked about this, like the ball kind of just pops off his hands, which he's definitely got a bit of a rocket with that thing. That's nice. The ability to throw on the run is something that, Miller did a little bit of that, but I think, with Jayden being a little bit more dynamic with his feet, it's a lot easier for him to do. It's kind of second nature. That's a nice throw. Where'd he put it? Behind the backers. Okay. Not bad. I like it. I don't like how he's not stepping. He's kind of... I would like for him to step into that a little bit more. We saw that. I guess he did kind of dragged it a little bit, but quarterbacks like this, he has natural arm talent, naturally strong guy. It can be easy to just rely on your physical attributes, right? But sometimes when you're dealing with adversity and you're getting hit constantly, or you got breakdowns of the offensive line, you don't want to go back to those habits, right? You want to step into every throw, regardless of how big and strong you are. But great job, super athletic, man. I'm very excited what they're gonna do. One thing, I guess this is kind of gonna turn into a little bit of a Nebraska preview as well as a Jayden Maiava little highlight reel. Got great feet. That defensive front, Nebraska scares me a lot. The defensive coordinator Tony Jones over there. He is nothing to play with, man. He dials up pressure like nobody's business. And they're gonna be looking for it. But if you got more RPO action, maybe we can make it happen, right? Because if we can run like that big number 9 and number 0 on the defensive line ain't gonna be able to grab him and be able to catch up to him. So that would be nice, right? Nebraska offensively too is like, they got great tight end play. I think that's going to be another one. You got to watch out for that tight end against Nebraska. I'm going to throw some Nebraska film on after this just to give you guys more of a... I'm going to commentate on this for now. I like Jayden a lot, though, man. I'm very excited to see what we could do. Some UCLA tape. Rayola's good, but they have issues on their offensive line. I think they got a freshman out here somewhere. I don't know if it's on the right tackle or the left tackle. I think they got a freshman out there learning. Rayola can, as long as we keep contained, man. I really want to see Sam Green out there doing a good job on those ends. I want to see Cam Fountain out there. Devin Tompkins has been doing a good job on the inside. Kobe Pepe has been pretty consistent as always. And like I said before, I really like our linebacker play, man. So you got a freshman quarterback coming into the Coliseum. If he could get some pressure on him, rough him up a little bit, get him rattled a little bit, that'll help us a lot, man. Because Nebraska has a good defense, but also I have to see if this might be a highly efficient offense with Jayden Maiava at quarterback. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't want to put too much pressure on the kid, but regardless, this is a very formidable opponent. Even though UCLA just beat them, but it is what it is. Yeah.
Patient. Then there's the block right there in the middle of your screen. Berger does the rest. And he's going to look at the fake.
He's got an arm though too. You gotta be ready. And these wide receivers, I don't know what's that guy. I know they got Nayor. I don't even know that guy, but that guy's athletic, man. That guy's athletic. We're gonna be ready. Hopefully Ramsey's back. But hey, I appreciate you guys. A lot of stuff in the works right now. A lot of things shaking and moving. Also word that Miller Moss may be in talks with the University of Michigan as far as entering the transfer portal. If Miller Moss, wherever Miller Moss goes, man, I wish Miller Moss nothing but the best, man. I got love for Miller Moss. It's Miller time forever. Never forget September 1st, 2024. Never forget that day. Never forget that night. Legendary moments. Made some big time plays, but just wasn't able to get over the hump. And wherever he goes in the future, I support him. I would like for it not to be in conference, because then I don't have to pray on your downfall for one day out of every year or every 2 years. But I love you, Miller Moss, man. You'll be fine, and appreciate you sticking in there and being a good quarterback for the end of the year. Fight on, everybody. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Let us know how you feel about the recruiting situation and what you think the outcome is going to be. And I'll see you soon. Fight on.